Hello, thank you for watching. This is Blue Streak TF here with Transformers Studio Series 86 Megatron. Alright, so here we have the Studio Series 86 Megatron in his tank mode. Before we look at him, we're just going to take a quick look at his packaging. Put him off to the side. And you can see here, you know, it's one of those newer Studio Series boxes, which I think look really cool. You know, like what they did with Age of the Primes, very similar boxing style. I just think it's cool. So we got big red Transformers across the front, blue Studio Series banner, Transformers the movie, Megatron, he's a Decepticon. Up here you've got a picture of Megatron, although I think he looks way too calm to be Megatron. But that's a really cool piece of artwork. And you've got his tank mode. And then on this side, you know, more than meets the eye, Autobot logo, transforms in 54 steps. Don't know why you'd be giving this toy to an 8-year-old, but okay. On this side, you've got larger picture Megatron with that Studio Series Transformers and the movie banner going on the side. This side, you just have a continuation of this picture and Autobot logo, which I think they should put a Decepticon logo on here. Anyway, and then you got Autobot sitting in the background on fire or something. It's a Leader Class figure. And then you've got a picture of Megatron from the movie. And then you have your product shots, so you know what you're getting if you don't know already. You've got a short bio there if you want to read that. Yeah, he does stuff. It's an authentic Transformer, so that's the packaging. Now we're going to take a look at Megatron himself here in his tank mode, which this has got to be one of the coolest Megatron tank modes I've ever seen, despite this basically being made up for this figure with nothing to go off of because he was a gun in the cartoon and they can't have the gun as a toy because of laws, which I respect. I respect those laws. Yeah, those laws are there for a reason. So, except for, so I'm not getting into politics right now, ever. Anyway, you have a really nice tank mode with a lot of really great detailing on here. There's some of the rivets, the wheels, the sort of gunmetal color for the treads. You know, you do have his feet hanging off the back and his shins there, but I don't think it's that bad. And then, you know, you got his cannon there, front. Oh, sorry. Got a Decepticon logo right there with some rivets, more riveting detail. And yeah, his turret does rotate, although it's a little bit awkward looking. He does roll pretty well. My table's not super good for rolling, but he does roll pretty well. He's got some wheels. He does come with a couple of accessories. And just, there we go. He does come with this. I'm guessing it's supposed to be that like lightsaber thing that he smacks Optimus with in their fight in the side and broke his vow for no weapons when he said, you know, bare hands in this fight. Anyway, but yeah, this is really pretty cool. You got that glittery pink sort of color, sort of purple going on there, and then some nice detailing on that. This can peg onto here in a couple different spots, so it can peg onto the side like that, or it can peg up top like here. He's got that going on. However, I don't like to store this on his tank mode, but oh, I think that popped loose. Anyway, if I were to store it, I'd store it right about here. The other accessory, I don't know where I got detail from accessory. See, that's popping loose. I don't know what, just tab in there. Thanks, Megs. The other accessory he comes with is himself. For those of you who were wondering, yeah, where's the gun mode? It's right here. This is his gun mode. This is more screen accurate than a giant gun, okay? If you turn into a gun, that would be less screen accurate than this. So, yeah, you've got some really nice detailing on here. It's very cartoony. You've got tiny little Decepticon logo on there. You've got some nice gunmetal gray up there. Overall, this is a neat little thing. So this can also be stored on here. Again, either here, which I think looks kind of weird, or up here, which I like to store this on the tank more than I like to store that on there, because it actually looks like it's supposed to be there. You know, it looks like a 50 cal, you know, on a tank. He's shooting Autobots with himself and himself. Anyway, that is just about it. Yeah, that's it for accessories. We are gonna take a quick comparison here with the 86 Optimus Prime, because, you know, one shall stand and one shall fall, but right now they're on their wheels, so they're not really standing. But yeah, so you can see that's how the scale works out there. These guys, arch enemies, Optimus and Megatron. So yeah. All right, I think it's about time to get into the transformation of this guy. What about you? Too bad, I'm gonna transform him anyway. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna pop these out just a little bit. See these little tabs that were tabbed into some slots in there. I don't know how well you can see that. They're just right there. But then yeah, you take this whole fusion cannon off, take this, pop that off, and this is another one of his accessories that he comes with. Set that off to the side, take his fusion cannon, take this section, and it's on a little arm here. It'll just snap right into place, and set that off to the side. And then for his tank mode, for the rest of the guy, what you want to do is you come here, and lift up his feet, fold his toes forward, take this whole arm assembly and fold it out to about there. You just take this and extend it out like that, and then take the side of this tank and pegs right into here, and that pegs right into there. So you want to take it here on this double hinge, about there, come around here, and you take this tread section, pop that down. It's also on a double hinge, so you just want to get that out of the way. So you can take this and collapse that up like so. Then that little tab there goes into that slot there, just like that. And then this tab will go into that slot as we rotate it on the lower of the two hinges. So we can just snap that right into place, except it doesn't really, there we go. Then you have these two slots, which will align with these two tabs, as you just bring it down on this hinge, like so, and then kind of compress that all together, like that. And then you just want to take his foot and slide it into place. And now we will do the second leg exactly the same as the first leg, just mirrored. So you just take this, fold it out, up like that. Take this, pull it out, bring around the tank section, fold down that tread, flip it around, snap it up, bring this around, snap that into place, take this, bring that in, push that in, snap it down, collapse that back. There are Megatron's legs almost transformed. We'll finish those up in just a little bit. But first, come here, and split this section here, and then you're just kind of do a combination move of rotating this hinge and this hinge. So it'll basically be like a little bit of this going on. And then you just straighten that all out. So it looks like this. With this tab is actually kind of important, facing out like that. And then just repeat that on this side. Again, making sure that tab is facing out here. You take this section and you rotate it around, if you've got enough clearance to. And then you want to take this section and just untab it from here. There's a slot that went into this tab there. Then just take this and we will take that and snap that into place. Fold his legs down. Their thighs are just tabbed right into that slot, like so. Take these side panels, rotate them out, fold them down, rotate his waist around, and now the legs are fully transformed. All right, this guy's getting kind of big, so I'll raise up the camera some. And then take this front section, bring it down, take this tab, fold out his head. Just make sure you, actually, you know what, it's fine. You can see it, whatever. I'm gonna be nice to you. You take this section, fold that in, like that. Collapse that down, push that up, snaps into place. These two slots go into those two there, just like that. Then you want to take this and rotate down like that, and back around. Fold his arms down. Alright, now here's where it gets a little bit tricky and where this tab comes important. So you're just gonna try to collapse this inward, like so. And you just want to get this little tab right like that. And then take this, just push that into place. And do it on this side too, so you just collapse this in, make sure that little tab gets right on the other side of that wall there. Close that up. And then you want to come here to his arms, rotate them so that this little tab is facing up. And then just split that, open it up like that, rotate it around like so. Take his fist, fold it out, close that up, and then bring his arm down. Same on this side, rotate it so the tab is facing forward. Open up the panels, rotate them around, fold out his hand, close up the panels, and last but not least, take his fusion cannon, plug it onto his arm, and then come in the back, take this, fold that tab forward so that this notch is facing towards the front, peg that onto his back. Good man. And there is Megatron in his robot mode, where he's Megatron, I tell you. This has got to be one of the coolest looking Megatron figures I think has ever been made, aside from maybe the Transformers Prime First Edition, which unfortunately I can't show you because I don't have that one. So, whatever. But yeah, you can tell by looking at this figure, they went for screen accuracy in robot mode. They did not do that with the alternate mode because they couldn't. They just wanted to prioritize the robot mode, and you can definitely see that. The tank mode is kind of weak, but the robot mode more than makes up for that Leader Class price point. Taking a look at some of the detailing here. his head there. He has a very Megatron-y scowl. This big old bucket head, which I think is a little bit tall, but that's okay. You got some nice blacks in there, nice red for the eyes. That silver and purple Decepticon logo again. You got some nice detailing going on in here. I kind of wish that red had continued all the way down his arm, and then also onto the side like that. But it's cool. It's cool. And you know, he's got his big black hands, his gunmetal gray fusion cannon with a little bit of a red on there, and then you know, you can definitely see some like gun stock detailing on this guy, especially on his legs, which are quite thick. They have some nice detailing to them. Very nice. He does have one unfortunate bit of kibble. Is the tank is just hanging off his heel right there, but that is it. That's it for tank mode stuff in robot mode, unless you count the fusion cannon, but I don't. That's a pretty iconic part of his robot mode. This accessory we're going to talk about later. After we take a look at his articulation. So his head can look up, can look down, does get a little bit of side to side movement. His head does rotate all the way around. Shoulders rotate, elbow bend over 90 degrees. If you take this off for now. And then, yeah, he has a ball jointed wrist, so it rotates around. You get some up and down. Not much side to side movement because, well, you know, like that. This is more for just this, so there. And then his fingers, you know, he has the 3 connected fingers down there with 2 joints on them. One in there, one in there. And then his index finger is also jointed in those same 2 spots. So we can do that. Let's plug this back on because we're done with the arm. He does have waist rotation. The arms can go out. I don't know if I mentioned that. His legs can kick forward, they can kick back. I really like this method of doing the hips, not necessarily the hip skirt thing, which you have to flip back down, whatever. Yeah, so his legs can kick out to the side. See, that's what I'm talking about, the hip skirt. You just have to push it back down. It's a little bit annoying. His thighs rotate around. He has a little bit over 90 degrees knee bend. His toes can flip up, or his foot can flip up. His foot can detach his shin. That can fold down a little bit. Tab in place, thank you very much. And then he does have ankle rotation, swivel, tilt, ankle tilt. Megatron is cool. Now this accessory, I told you we were going to talk about a little bit later. This can either be packed on the on his back of his back, like that, or it can be pegged on his arm, like that, which looks kind of weird. Or when I pose him with it, which I don't do often because I don't really care for that accessory, you can open up the hand like so, and then this will just slot right in. Hope this is visible. There, it just slots right on like that. And then you can just close up his hand around it. Now he's got that going on. And then he can hold himself and store himself. So for storage first, this can either tab onto his back, right there, that little slot, which I'm hoping, please tab in, thank you, like that. Or we can peg onto here, or fold it up, or put it on his wrist, or he can simply just pose his hand like that, and then slot that peg right into that hole there. Maybe? Why isn't behave, Megatron? Thank you. Or he can just hold himself like that. And pew pew, fusion, fusion, laser, laser, something weird. Okay. And now we can get to some size comparisons. And here he is with the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. So you can see how they scale together. Megatron is quite a bit bigger. And even if you wanted to, you could reenact some famous scenes from the movie.
One shall stand and one shall fall. Why come awake at night so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. No, I'll crush you with my bare hands!
Or something like that. Anyway. Yeah, I think that just about wraps it up for this video. So if you like it, don't forget to, let me know that you liked it by either leaving a like or a comment, and, maybe let me know what you thought of this Megatron, if you have him. So, yeah. Now, as always, remember, Jesus loves you, and yeah, he loves you. It's plain and simple. He wants to save you from yourself. I know he's done that for me, so I can testify that it works. Okay, Jesus is good. He loves you. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.